Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, regular contributor for Buddhistdoor Global, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's talk is Setting Healthy Boundaries. But before we get into that, I'll remind you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. Also, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. Now, in Buddhism, we're taught that human beings have a dual nature, meaning that we have a Buddha nature, that we are basically good, that we are worthy of love, honor, and respect, inherently so, but we're also human beings. And as a result of the physical nature of our existence, we are subject to greed, anger, and ignorance. So part of our practice is learning to pay more attention to the Buddha side of our nature and a little less attention to the darker parts, the greed, anger, and ignorance. When we are successful in this, we enter into a state called nirvana, or inner peace, where the fires of greed, anger, and ignorance have been blown out temporarily, and we experience a state of calm. To better understand this, we can look at my cat, Enzo. Now, Enzo is a Buddha, like all sentient beings, but he's also a cat. And as part of his cat-like nature, he has claws that he likes to use to destroy things. So despite the fact that he has 3 scratching posts to choose from, he's torn a pretty good-sized hole in my rug. Probably won't get my deposit back from the leasing company. And I have to keep him far away from my houseplants and my fish, because he would tear up the houseplants and probably eat the fish. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that Enzo is bad or evil or worthy of punishment. It simply means that he's a cat. And out of respect for the cat-like nature that he possesses, it's my job to set healthy boundaries so that he, my plants, my fish, and I can live in harmony together. And human beings exist in the same way. Our human nature sometimes is not very skillful. Doesn't mean it's bad or evil. It simply means we have to set healthy boundaries so that we can live in harmony both with ourselves and our own Buddha nature, and also with other sentient beings, humans, animals, etc. This is why Buddha, in his wisdom, laid out the 4 noble truths and the noble eightfold path, so that we could set boundaries for ourselves. Things like right speech, right action, right livelihood, which allow us to work with people as Buddhas, even though we may not be feeling like Buddhas in the moment. He also gave us practices like right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, which allow us to see our Buddha nature and manifest it in the world. But in times when we're not able to do that, we have to go back to the boundaries of morality, which we find in right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Now, this is true for us, but it's also true for other people as well. They are both Buddhas and human beings. They have the ability to nurture and comfort and to destroy and tear down. So based on what part of their nature they're serving in that moment, we must act skillfully. We must set healthy boundaries in how we interact with them to ensure that we're able to live in harmony. So maybe we limit the amount of money we allow them to borrow from us, or we don't let them borrow money at all. Maybe we only talk to them about certain subjects that we know won't end up in a fight, or we restrict access they have to things like a bank account or personal information, not because they're bad or evil, simply because they're human beings. And out of respect both for their Buddha nature and for ours, we must set these boundaries, again, to ensure harmony exists. And as we do this, as we learn to work with both our human nature and our Buddha nature, and as we learn to work skillfully with both halves of who we are, we're able to end suffering both for ourselves and for others. Amitabha.